Hey everybody! The purpose of this video is to get you some solutions to some of the questions of this probability quiz here that involves the spinner. Just some, because some of them are going to involve random numbers you're generating on your TI, and I can't really simulate that for you. Well, I can, but it'll be different than yours. So anyway, the first three we can totally answer. Number one here, what's the chance if you spin this spinner one time and let it spin, what's the chance? Whoa, excuse me, that was my email reminding me to do something. What's the chance that it lands on a 1? Okay, so what is the chance that it lands on a 1? Well, if you count the spaces on your spinner, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 0 through 9 are the 10 digits. Looks like they're all the same size. Assuming this thing isn't bound up in some way, it's just as likely to land on 8 as it is to land on 6, as it is to land on 0, as it is to land on 1. So the chance it lands on 1 is the sample space over the event space over the sample space. Well, there's one way to be successful. That's land on 1. And there are 10 equally likely ways for it to land altogether. So it's 1 in 10 or 10%. We'll get back to that here in number 3. So 10% for question number 1. What's the chance the arrow lands on an even number? Now just be careful. This is kind of a jerky question. Everybody knows that 2 and 4 and 6 and 8 are even. What you might have forgotten is that 0 is 2. Any number that is divisible by 2, any integer that is divisible by 2 is even. 0 is divisible by 2. There is no remainder when you divide 0 by 2. The remainder is 0. So half the time, 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8, half the time, you're going to land on an even number. The other half, you're going to land on an odd number. So that's 0.5, 50%, however you want to write it, 1/2. This is the part that I think screws people up sometimes. What does it mean to say the probability that the spinner arrow lands on 1 is 10%? I was looking for this answer. You can write it a bunch of different ways, but here's what you have to get across. Over repeated trials, you are going to land on the 1 space 10% of the time, on average. Okay, you have to have that in some way in your answer. You can't say there's a 1 in 10 chance. All you're doing by saying that is you're repeating your answer to number 1. Yes, there's a 1 in 10 chance. What does it mean that there's a 1 in 10 chance? It means that in the long run, spinning this thing over and over and over again, you're going to land on that space 10% of the time on average. This space, 10% of the time on average. This space, 10% of the time on average, and so forth and so on and so forth and so on. So that's that, and that's all there is to it, really. The rest of it is a simulation that you're going to have to run, and the folks that turned it in, it looks beautiful. So at any rate, that's it. That's all we can talk about today in the video for these first 3 questions. We'll see you in class. Hope it helped.